Hello Gemini! Hi, this is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hello my friends, how are you doing? I hope everyone is fine. And we're going to have a look into your current situation, higher view over your situation, and what you can do to help yourself. So basically, advice from Spirit. And it's for those that seek personal and spiritual growth, with the intention to encourage, elevate, and empower you on your journey, okay? So let's hop in, Gemini, and let's see. I feel your vision is about to improve in terms of third eye. All of a sudden, I felt like a quiet moment was coming in, and I was seeing things very clearly because you took the time there. And that can happen within a matter of seconds, Gemini. And all of a sudden, you know, we can do scrying either in water or on the cards or through smoke, whatever it is for you. But there's definitely that kind of a, not commotion, but that kind of a situation going on. All right. Let's have a look. Gemini, please. What do we have for Gemini? What do you want them to know, please? I work exclusively with love and light, just so you know, of the highest Christ light and highest divine consciousness. I don't know why I feel called to say this right now. I also feel called to say it's important to know who you're working with, because if you don't, even if they're well-meaning, they could, and if they're not of unconditional love and light, they could misguide you. And I just want to say that. I want to put that out there because maybe we do have first timers here where it's important to know. And indeed, you have the Ace of Wands. This is Indra's net here, so one idea sparks the next. It's like a whole journey of breadcrumbs that you have been guided through here, Gemini. And Gemini is very much about communication, but also about thoughts. And that's what I'm feeling here. Receiving divine inspiration, divine guidance, and acting upon it, and hence sparking many others with your wisdom, but also with, you know, when that wisdom is implemented, Gemini, that's when it's like made full use of, I want to say. Because if it's just sitting there without, you know, ever doing anything with it, I think that's just half of it. I think when we manage to live it, that's incredible. Like, that's an incredible point to be in, I want to say. This one, yeah. Eight of Wands. So something that's coming in fairly fast here. And again, something that sparks, if you want to see here. And both wand cards, so both action-oriented cards. No, like this is fine. What's on the sticks? I'm all of a sudden, like, my interest is sparked because I see something. So maybe your interest is sparked by something that you see. Again, could be with a third eye, very well with that, or in meditation. And also when we're talking about downloads, these sometimes come through in geometric patterns, and it's not about making sense of it. It's going to integrate almost by itself, I want to say, and then it's asking you, or might ask you, to make some changes in your life, which is precisely what might be happening right now. Which is sometimes not an easy thing to do, especially when we're, like, as human beings, trying to hold on to something, either relationship or job or location that we're living at, or whatever it is for you, or like a certain calling even, and then being asked to step away from it, either for good or for a certain time, and to have the trust and faith to do so. Because we're held, we're taken care of. You're held, you're taken care of, Gemini, okay? I just want to say this here. This one, no. Oh, hang on, that was a yes. 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 No. That was interesting. That was really fast. Okay. Okay. Now I know why I said exclusively love and light. Did you just witness that? So it was just like the cards came out, and I usually ask my cards, is that a yes or a no, right? And I was given a yes, and it came out fairly fast, and I'm just like, huh. And then I was like, these cards hardly fit the reading. That's interesting. 444 I just saw. And then I asked them again, like on the spot, is this a yes? And I was given, for every single one that just came out, that was a no. It all of a sudden turned into a no. So again, be very discerning about the information that you receive, Gemini, and who you receive it from. Just ask it love and light. If they can reciprocate that answer and repeat love and light 3 times, perfect. Then that's what that is. If they cannot, which I have never heard them say it like once and then the second time or third time, it's always at the first time for me that if it's not love and light, that it's declared. That's not what it is. So let's see. This one, yes. Are we for real? Yes. Okay. So you have the 8 of Pentacles. So 8 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles. So this is a card of you've worked hard. You've worked really hard. So you've accumulated a bunch of skills here, I want to say. It may have been also the case for you, Gemini, that throughout your life, you did not necessarily stick to one thing because you might have been good at a couple of things. You may have been born with a couple of talents, and hence you may not have known immediately, oh, I want to do this. Because some people just know they're born and they know, well, I'm kind of exaggerating, I want to be a teacher or I want to be a banker or whatever it is for them, right? And with you, since you have so many talents that are just there, you're naturally good at certain things. This is, of course, because you've lived so many lifetimes here, Gemini. But there's a fine-tuning happening, or has started to happen, even since a couple of years ago, I want to say, with you, where it's been funneled down what you want to do, what you can do, but not so much what you want to do, but what is needed from you in this moment in terms of purpose, in terms of mission, right? So it's funneling down, it's becoming clearer. And yeah, it's just becoming clearer what it is that you should be doing here, like for the greatest good of all. It's still a choice though, I want to say. That is funny too. Ah, yeah, totally. Absolutely. That was interesting because I always thought all of these had patterns on them. Turns out today that only one has a pattern, so it fits perfectly in with what I just said. That there were many talents, many paths that you probably also took a few, right? Starting to work somewhere, working there for 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, whatever, but then stepping away from it, finding something else, but all of which was really useful. And maybe you just wanted to know what that feels like to work in that sort of field previously before coming here. So you just did that for a little bit and then you moved on to the next, I want to say. There's something about flowers and herbs and using those for sure. I'm also seeing aloe. I'm also seeing writing. Maybe you were writing down a couple of recipes when it comes to that, or your experiences with plant medicine. Excuse me. Okay. I just asked whether you were overworked and they said no. So this is not a card of being overworked. It's rather a card of having accumulated everything that you need. It's like, and now what? And now we're ready to move into something else and make use of all the tools that you've accumulated. Because, yes, and you may have taken also workshops and stuff like that to enhance your knowledge, to further your knowledge. But that's only like half. In Germany, there's directly translated, it's like it's only half the rent. I do not know if there is like a similar thing in English. There probably is. But it's only half the thing, right? Because if you don't implement it, or if you don't heal people with what you have at your hands, well, that's just, it's great that you have it, but what you're going to do with it. And that's kind of like the thing here. But for those of you worrying or wondering what's going to happen, like, don't worry, it's going to take you straight there. Maybe someone is coming to you with an ailment, or you're witnessing someone being in distress and you're almost like sleepwalkingly starting to help that person with their permission, but it's like something else is running through you. And that's also, I want to say, what happens when you're channeling. For example, you meet someone and it's immediately you have a sentence in your head, let's say, right? Something is sparked by something else. And you may communicate it or you may not communicate it, but you just received information for this other person for their healing or for their benefit. That's interesting. This? No, not right now. Okay. What else for Gemini, please? This one, yeah. Okay, so we're going to continue pulling with the guardian angels. I'm going to pull you one more card, and then, excuse me, please, we'll take it over to Patreon. It's 11.11 a month. The link is down below. It's not just for this extended, but for all the extended that are created within that month. So all of a sudden feel like I can't think anymore. That's interesting too, because during channeling you can't think so much or at all, because you're kind of like stepping back and allowing something else to run through you. I'm very much getting that sense here, and if you try to think, it's very, very hard, because you're just in a different, in an altered kind of a state, I want to say. What else, please? What else for Gemini? What do we have? What do we have for Gemini? Interesting. What do we have here? Yeah. Positive change. Yeah, totally. Positive change. Dare to be different, my dear Geminis. When you are criticized, remember that you will never please everyone. Many brilliant and gifted individuals were not fully appreciated or understood in their own lifetime. Yet it is often they who have sown the seeds of change. All right? This is you. Right underneath the Eight of Wands. And I'm almost getting that sense of the genius, you know, that isn't understood for their geniality or whatever it's called, for their genius. But they will be understood later. It happens so many times throughout history, and human nature is just like, oh, we're just going to blah, 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 like everyone else, right? But then there comes along someone who feels they have additional knowledge to that, or maybe completely different knowledge, and they're so hell-bent and sure on their opinion, or on, they believe so much in what they have to share. This is kind of like the sense I'm getting here too. You believe so much in what you have to share, at least in some stage in your journey. You're so sure of it, but maybe you haven't been appreciated for all the gifts that you come with, or all the talents that you come with, Gemini. Or maybe you haven't appreciated yourself for everything that you come with here, and that's quite a bit, as I can see. All right, Gems, we'll take it over to Patreon and see where the rest of your reading may take us. Well, I'm curious. And if you want to follow, down below the link. All right, if you would like to book a private healing reading or higher guidance coaching call session with me, reach out at universalpowertarot@gmail.com. It was a pleasure reading for you today. And either I'll see you over on Patreon or next time. Be really well. Bye.